I've been thinking a lot about connection recently. As a communications major and as I've gotten deeper into my courses, learning how humans truly connect excites me. The kind of connections that make your chest open, the kind that silence all the noises in your head, the kind that feels like presence, real, raw, and undivided. And I wonder if we're all more, quote, connected than ever, then why are we all so lonely with our country in a mental health crisis? This past week, I went on a beach vacation. As I was sitting on the beach looking out into the Atlantic Ocean, absorbing all the sounds around me, seagulls, waves crashing, children running around and screaming, and my phone buzzing with notifications. I was completely alone despite all these notifications of friends and mutuals, quote, connecting with me on various platforms. Connected, but disconnected, if you will. So, why do I still feel alone despite the constant stream of notifications on my phone? It leaves me with the ultimate question, one that I've had for a while and one that I love to bring up in conversation and get people's perspectives on. What does a real connection look like now? And have we traded intimacy for immediacy? Social media, as convenient as it is, especially to see what your friends and loved ones are up to, has tricked us into believing that constant communication is closeness, that access is intimacy, but contact doesn't automatically equate to connection. You can be in someone's DMs every day, but not know the sound of their voice when they cry. Oftentimes, I'll find myself scrolling on TikTok or Instagram Reels, some of these with themes of complete vulnerability about someone struggling with some of the many things that life can throw at people. And I'll go to the comment sections and see thoughts and prayers, or we're here for you. But are we really there for that person? At the end of the day, we could send maybe like 400 memes to a friend, but be up spiraling at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that friend doesn't even pick up the phone. Real connection doesn't live on a timeline. It lives in tension, in tenderness, in truth. And truth rarely gets good engagement. The article, How Social Media is Reshaping Humanity, says that, quote, social media may worsen existing social inequalities and mental health challenges, particularly as it engages fewer of the we mode processes fundamental to social bonding in physical spaces. For users already grappling with loneliness, digital interactions can increase anxiety and strain offline relationships. What we see on social media nowadays, 9 times out of 10, is performative. As a woman in her 20s, I can attest to this. When I go somewhere scenic and want pictures of myself in my cute outfit, of course, it's fun to dress up and take pictures, but it's quite performative, and social media and influencer culture has made this a norm. We've become fluent in performance. Even our feelings are curated now. We know how to post our breakdowns with perfect lighting and a caption that's self-aware enough to feel, quote, real, but not so raw that it repels. Sometimes it feels like we're all performing connection, hoping someone will see through the act and choose us anyway. I've done this one too many times by sending a heartfelt message to usually a guy I'm interested in and has been giving me the bare minimum, hoping this message will clock to him that I'm taking things seriously and he should too, only to get a forward response. And my intention wasn't to be performative per se with how I felt. I aim for connection and closeness. And with all of this, I feel we confuse visibility with being seen. But to be seen is to be known in your silence, not your selfies or paragraph-long texts to crushes who could never reciprocate. Be true to you, not others. There's also a loneliness that doesn't come from necessarily being alone. It comes from being surrounded by people and still feeling unknown. And maybe that's the epidemic of not just loneliness, but of disembodiment. We're so plugged in that we're disassociating. We have the knowledge of being seemingly connected, even without having real face-to-face connection and interaction. Living in a world of pings and previews, but forgetting how to look each other in the eye. When's the last time you touched someone's hand? Not for a photo, not for sex, not for a social performance, but just to let them know that you're there. That simple gesture is worth so much more than a comment on a post saying, "I'm here for you." As I stated before, this is one of my favorite questions to bring up in group conversations. I feel like it's an intimate question and it really gets thoughts flowing, especially among friends or loved ones. And so I did exactly that. I asked a few friends, what does true human connection mean to them? And here are some of their answers.
Real human connection is the assumption that you will both provide for and be provided by another person. When my closest friends come home, it fills me to cook for them and catch up on anything I've missed from their time away. I can always expect wine, bread, or emotional support in return for my efforts, not because it is an agreed-upon deal that if I cook or buy pizza or anything else, I must receive something in return, but because it has historical backing. Over years, I have seen this process play out. A covered gas station snack from me, followed by a my treat a couple weeks later when my friends know my balance is low. The cycle of giving and receiving continues until it doesn't matter who owes each other what, because it is understood that what we put in today will be put back into us in the future. This goes for emotional support as well. It is not transactional. It is not tit for tat. I have seen my friends give to me in many ways, tangible and abstract, over the years, and this has created a desire within me to provide for them. Real human connection is an investment into another person. It is not fleeting, and it may take years to see the fruits of your emotional labor, if you ever see it at all. But having someone around that has shown time and time again that they will come through for you makes all those little investments worth the while.
Hi, this is Farrah Singleton, and I was asked what a real human connection means to me. And as I sat here pondering on that thought, it came to me that I'm honestly lost for words, because a real human connection is something that is very hard to describe. Sometimes it feels like words don't do it enough justice. And there's all different types of connections. There's romantic, there's platonic, but I think a connection that is really slept on is friendship. And people say, oh, friends are important, friends this, friends that. But no, true, genuine friendship is very rare and it's very hard to find. And what the root of a true, genuine friendship is human connection. You have to be connected. You have to be connected. That connection could look like you guys both being bored. You have nothing to do, they have nothing to do, but you can sit comfortably in silence. That's human connection. You guys are connected. You don't have to be doing an activity. You don't have to be kept busy. You don't have to constantly be exerting energy. You're just simply being in each other's presence is enough, is more than enough. Nothing feels like everything when you're with that person. That's what a real human connection is to me. Nothing is everything.
Real human connection to me mostly looks like physical touch, whether that's hugging someone, holding someone's hand, putting your arm around them, having sex, or something like that. I think physical touch really helps to build like a real and intimate connection. I think one reason that helps that is that you're actually with the person, and that's why I don't necessarily consider parasocial relationships or really anything that's just like over the phone to like deepen much of a real human connection. I also think like soaking in media with someone else is building a connection because you're building moments and memories together, or just feeling the emotions of something together, whether that's like watching a movie together or TV, listening to like an album together, singing in the car, or something like that. I think that really helps build a human connection.
Real human connection. What do I believe that real human connection is? I think it's when you find that person that you truly care for in the world and always want to fight for, always want to have your back, always want to have their back. It's that thing that it's just unexplainable to really find with a lot of people. It could be a romantic partner, it could be your best friend, it could be platonic, it could be romantic. It doesn't matter. When you find that true human connection, you really care for that person. You know that they're there for you, especially when it's romantic. Because when you meet someone like that, you always want to spend every day with them, yearning for them. You miss them with all your heart. And when you connect with them, like, on a deeper level, it really is something special. Especially spending every day together, you never want to be apart. You really feel like you found your match in the world, and that's just one of the most beautiful things you can find, because we're here for not a long time, and finding someone like that it's really special.
After receiving all these answers, I would have to say my answer is a blend of all of these. However, to me, real human connection means sacrifice, when you may not want to, but do so just for the other person. Showing up matters. Being there through the worst times and still providing comfort means connection and care. Personally, I know I feel connected when I feel understood through my emotions. And my friends, romantic partners, and loved ones hear me out no matter how hysterical I may sound. Humans crave to be understood and be seen, and taking the time to truly see someone through good and bad is what authentic connection means to me. Remembering the little quirks about them, coffee orders, what their lucky number is, or if they just sleep with the fan on or not, is connection. Taking the time to care and show up. Now, I'm not saying we should all delete social media and go out and connect with each other in all these different ways, but we do have to remember what real connection feels like. It's inconvenient, it's messy, it requires presence, which means not multitasking, not rushing through a text, and definitely not ghosting when things get too real. True intimacy requires repetition, not just fireworks. You have to show up again and again and again. Not just when it's pretty. In real love, friendship love, romantic love, soul love, it asks you to stay, not just observe. So maybe the question isn't who's in my notification or who's in my DMs or who likes my story. Maybe it's who knows how to sit with me in silence. Another thing is, this isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. Because when we slow down enough to just notice, we start to feel the difference between what fills us and not just what distracts us. Between being heard and being understood. Between being seen and being known. As I said before, as a communications major, this topic really excites me, and I try to think of ways how I can implement it into what I want my brand to be as a PR major and communications major. Because I know real connections still exist. It might not be loud, it probably won't come with a timestamp or a heart reaction, but it's in the quiet texts that say, hey, are you okay? It's in the people who don't need a reminder to show up. It's in the moments when you put your phone down and realize the world didn't fall apart.